If you're looking to secure the Jordan 4 A Ma Manieres, then you've come to the right place because in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly the best ways to be able to do that. This sneaker will be releasing this Wednesday, November 23rd with a retail price of $225. Current resale prices are sitting in between $450 and $550, but I'm expecting this to slightly dip once pairs start to come in hand, and I think they'll settle around the $350 to $400 range. Starting at 9 a.m. Eastern on the day of the release, I will be live streaming this entire drop, so if you plan on going for these, make sure to sub to the channel and make sure to pull up to the live stream too. On that note, let's get into the video. So there's going to be three main ways to get your hands on a pair of these A Ma Maniere 4s, and the first is going to be in-store and online raffles. I honestly haven't seen a ton of raffles open up for this sneaker, and this usually happens on these more limited and these more hyped up collabs, but I have seen a few of the major online retailers post their raffles, and I've been seeing these random in-store boutiques here and there. So first things first, I would highly recommend checking around your area, checking around your region, and trying to see if there's any boutiques that are going to be hosting any in-store raffles for this pair. As far as the online raffles go, some of the main ones that I've been able to find so far include Feature, Kith, Lapstone and Hammer, Sneaker Politics, Slam Jam, SNS, Stashed SF, and I'm sure there's some more out there that I missed, but we still have a few days before the release, and some of these retailers like to open up their raffles 1 to 2 days before the drop, so I'm sure that we'll see some more open up, and I'm sure we'll see some more raffles go live before the actual release. I'll be leaving links to the online raffles I've found so far in the description below, so you guys can go enter up there and pray for a very, very lucky W. So besides for online and in-store raffles, which seem to be pretty limited, and guys, these are a very limited shoe overall, they're most likely not going to be super easy to get. The next way that we're going to be talking about to get your hands on a pair of these A Ma Maniere 4s is going to be from Shopify. Shopify is pretty rough when it comes to manual users, and the reality of it is, guys, once you add the product to cart on, let's say, Kith, you type in your name, the product is already sold out. And guys, if you don't have a bot, if you don't have any kind of custom auto checkout software, Shopify is very difficult. I'm just gonna say it how it is, and that's just how Shopify has been for pretty much years now. There's really only a few Shopify sites I could actually see releasing this shoe first come, first serve, and some of those include Kith, Concepts, Undefeated, and possibly also sites like Atmos USA and Dover Street Market too. So if you are a strictly manual user, I don't even know if I would really bother going for them. It's sort of just an unnecessary L and some unnecessary disappointment, because that's just the reality of it, guys. These Shopify stores, first of all, don't get a ton of pairs anyways, and Kith already put up their raffle, so if they do drop pairs, it'll be leftovers, so they're not gonna have a ton of stock as it is, and then you're competing against people using bots and this custom auto checkout software, so if you're sitting there typing in your information manually, you pretty much don't have a chance. So out of the sites that I just mentioned, we have Undefeated, which should drop around 8 a.m. Eastern, we have Kith and Concepts, which should drop around 10 a.m. Eastern, and then we have Atmos and we have Dover Street Market, which typically drop at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's still possible that we see other random Shopify sites like Exhibition or Bodega still drop these first come, first serve, but I have a feeling that not a lot of sites are going to end up dropping these. So we went over online and in-store raffles, and we just went over first come, first serve Shopify sites too. And besides that, that's going to leave us with one last site that's going to be dropping this sneaker, and this is probably going to be the majority of people's best chances of hitting, which is going to be the Sneakers app. If you participated in the last drop, which was the Chicago Lost and Found, you know it was an absolute mess. They were sending out results literally an hour and a half to 2 hours later when it normally takes about 10 minutes, and their entire app, their entire infrastructure just got toasted. It was really, really, really bad yesterday, guys. Supposedly there was over 300,000 pairs of those Chicagos that dropped, and just there must have been tens of millions of entries, and the app got so fried. But I honestly do not expect it to be anywhere near that on the A Ma Maniere release, and I feel like it'll overall go pretty smooth. I have some tips and I have some tricks for the Sneakers app, and this is mostly going to be applying to my manual users. I'm really not going to touch on botting too much in this video, but if you are interested in being able and learning how to bot sites like Nike and being able to hit multiple pairs, I hit 11 pairs of the Chicago Lost and Found yesterday, then definitely check out my cook group SoFlo Supply. I'll be leaving a link in the description below, and you can read our website to see more about what it is that we exactly do. For manual users, there are a couple ways that you can actually increase your chances a pretty solid amount, and the main one is going to be by having multiple accounts and different devices. This might seem pretty obvious, but one tip that I have is that if you've been using a sneakers account for months, maybe even years, and you haven't hit in a very, very long time, it might not be a bad idea to go and make another account. One thing I've noticed recently is that fresh accounts actually have been hitting, and typically if I make an account and I enter into 1, 2, maybe 3 releases, I'll actually start hitting on really good and profitable shoes. And it's been happening this way for the past couple of months. It's something that I and a lot of others have also picked up on. So if you're running an account that is just terrible and you haven't hit in over a year, I would honestly suggest going and making a new one. Another thing you can do is start paying your friends and family. Just throw them like $5, have them make an account with their phone number. Maybe they can use their card as well and you can pay them back. Throw them a little bit of cash. If they're nice, they'll obviously do it for free. But guys, you should be hitting up every single person you know and getting as many devices and as many entries as you possibly can into these releases. Another thing to keep in mind is that let's say you're entering in on your phone and let's say you're also entering in on your iPad. One thing you can do is use your iPad on Wi-Fi and then you can use your phone on data or LTE so they're not entering in on the same IP address. This is definitely something that Nike tracks, and from what I've seen, you can typically use 2 phones on your home Wi-Fi, and anything past that, you should definitely be using LTE or data so the IP address of that phone switches. Besides for maybe making a fresh account, entering up on as many devices and as many accounts as you possibly can, and making sure that you're not entering too many on the same IP address, the rest is going to be up to the Sneakers app. And guys, it's lucky. It definitely is a lot of luck that goes into it. I pretty much end up hitting on the majority of releases because I'm running nearly 50 accounts, but there are still releases that I don't even hit, and I have 50 versus someone who's just running 1. So you got to think about the chances there, the probability, and a lot of it is still coming down to luck. It's coming down to what size you enter for and how much stock is there, and it's just a lot of it is a luck game, guys. So do everything you can to get as many possible entries as you can into the raffle. Do your best to not get filtered. Use unique information. Each account should have a different card on file. It should have a different name. Ideally, you should be running a different address if you're running, let's say, 4 or 5 accounts to one house. And those tips are going to be the main thing that'll increase your chances and actually get you to start hitting on the Sneakers app more consistently. We went over in-store raffles, online raffles, Shopify first come first serve, and Nike, and those are going to be the main ways of being able to secure the Jordan 4 A Ma Maniere. Enter up into everything that you guys can find. Look locally, try to find boutiques, make as many sneakers accounts as you can to increase your chances. If you have a bot, if you have a kind of custom auto checkout software, assuming these Shopify sites actually drop first come first serve, you definitely want to be going for those. Make sure you guys are pulling up to the drop day live stream, which is starting an hour before the release. And I wish everyone watching this video the absolute best of luck on securing a pair of the Jordan 4 A Ma Manieres.